Good morning, everyone. Welcome. We begin our time together in song. We will sing Elise Witt's When Our Heart is in a Holy Place to get us started today. Please make sure your microphone is muted so you can sing along energetically to welcome in this beautiful new day we've received. Good morning and welcome to the Unitarian Universalist Congregation of Gwinnett. My name is Jan Taddeo. My pronouns are she, her, hers, and it is my great joy and a tremendous privilege to serve our faith as the minister of this congregation. I am so glad we can all be together here this morning. Thank you for being here. If you have a chalice or a candle at home to light in a few minutes when we do our chalice lighting, go get it while I offer these welcoming words. We arrive from many places and many life experiences as we gather in this cherished space to reflect on our true selves, recall the meaning of our lives, and explore questions of intimacy together. If you are here for the first time or the 1,000th time, you are welcome here. If you believe in many gods, a god or goddess, no gods, or you're just not sure, you are welcome here. If you are gay, straight, bisexual, asexual, pansexual, transgender, cisgender, genderqueer, or still trying to figure it out, you are welcome here. If you are covered in tattoos or a blank canvas, you are welcome here. If you shout amen after each song or sentence, or if you prefer to sit with us quietly, you are welcome here. If you come here sober, addicted, or somewhere on your healing path, you are welcome here. If you are grieving, or if you are celebrating, you are welcome here. Your whole self, all that you were, all that you are, all that you yearn to be, is welcome here. And you are just where you should be, in a room full of compassionate and thoughtful Unitarian Universalists ready to meet you where you are. You are home. And if this is your first time with us, we welcome you and hope that you will indeed find your spiritual home here with us. We are becoming a radically welcoming sanctuary in a green space. We foster spiritual growth as we joyfully nurture connections and community within our walls and beyond. If this is your first time here, I encourage you to join us several times virtually which we'll be doing at least through the end of this year. And I encourage you to also come and join us in person when it is safe for us to gather together in person. And come often to experience the full flavor of this congregation and this faith tradition. Come and be curious, courageous, and compassionate with us. And now, let us all pause, take a deep breath, and take another to bring every molecule of your being into this precious, cherished time that we have set aside to be together. And as the sound moves through us and around us, may we be reminded how deeply and profoundly, inextricably interconnected we are with one another, with all life, all beings, with all the stars in the cosmos. We are one. Our opening words this morning come from Dana E. Worsnop, entitled, I Want to Be with People. Often people say that they love coming to a place with so many like-minded people. I know just what they are getting at, and I know that they aren't getting it quite right. I don't want to be with a bunch of people who think just like me. I want to be in a beloved community where I don't have to think like everyone else to be loved, to be eligible for salvation. I want to be with people who value compassion, justice, love, and truth, though they have different thoughts and different opinions about all sorts of things. I want to be with independent-minded people of good heart. I want to be with people who have many names and no name at all for God. I want to be with people who see in me goodness and dignity, who also see my failings and foibles, and who still love me. I want to be with people who feel their interconnection with all existence and let it guide their footfalls upon the earth. I want to be with people who see life as a paradox and don't always rush to resolve it. I want to be with people who are willing to walk the tightrope that is life and who will hold my hand as I walk mine. I want to be with people who let church call them into a different way of being in the world. I want to be with people who support, encourage, and even challenge each other to higher and more ethical living. I want to be with people who inspire one another to follow the call of the Spirit. I want to be with people who covenant to be honest, engaged, and kind, who strive to keep their promises and hold me to the promises I make. I want to be with people who give of themselves, who share their hearts and minds and gifts. I want to be with people who know that human community is often warm and generous, sometimes challenging, and almost always a grand adventure. In short, I want to be with people like you. And now gather your chalices or your candles, and let's get ready to light our chalice. And we do this with words from Catherine Esty. Little flame, light the tender kindling of our souls. And soon a roaring blaze shall be of warmth and love and community. From this little spark, may a fire of passion spread from heart to heart and light our way, sweet Spirit, and light our way.
Good morning. If this were any other year, the Sunday before school begins, I would be standing at the front of the sanctuary right now, holding a basket of trinkets, ready to talk to you about making this year special. But this is not like any other year. This year is different for all of us, and students, parents, teachers. I know your usual anticipation is tinged with concern, perhaps anxiety, and maybe a little bit of doubt. The usual, "You got this," that echoes in your mind might be followed by less an exclamation point and more a question mark. I see you. I hold your hand and walk beside you as you navigate this grove of uncertainty. Yesterday, in the context of talking about school, I said to someone, everything is upside down right now. And it does feel that way for a lot of us. This is not the kind of newness that is easy to embrace. As Unitarian Universalists, we are both teachers and learners, all of us, and we are called to share our passion for love, justice, and peace with the world. And we are challenged with how to do this on even the best of days. But now, how do we persevere in this calling during this time? One answer is we move forward together. If this were any other year, I would be standing at the front of the sanctuary right now, holding up a basket of trinkets, preparing to bless your backpacks and messenger bags and tools of the trade of education. But this year, all Gwinnett County students will be beginning the year virtually, and many will not be utilizing backpacks. Besides, this year, in this unprecedented time, school, work, and life are mediated through our electronic devices. So I thought it might be appropriate to direct this back-to-school blessing toward them. I talk quite a bit about miracles and the notion that just because we know how something works or where it comes from doesn't make it any less miraculous. It is in that spirit that I offer this blessing. As we embark on a new school year, and there is so much we are challenged by, we turn to thoughts of gratitude. We are grateful for Wi-Fi and other modern technologies that afford us the capability of connecting beyond physical space, allowing us to communicate and connect with and learn from each other from a distance. We bless our devices. It may be the one that you're zooming in with us right now, or another laptop or tablet or cell phone. These are the tools of our new profound immersion in a wired and wireless and Bluetooth world. Though this world is virtual, may we use these devices to foster real relationships, to remind us across the necessary physical distance, we are still truly together, connected. Teachers, parents, students, I see you. Everyone in this virtual gathering sees you and holds you in our hearts and in our care as you venture into the newness and unsought adventure of this coming school year. Blessed be.
Thank you, Christiana. A beautiful blessing. We respond with the hymn by Shelley Jackson Denham, "When I Am Frightened."
Hello, my name is Mandy Miller, and I am a member of the Pastoral Care team. In these stressful times, it is important to find ways to take care of your emotional health and well-being. While there are many ways to find a peaceful and calm place, one of my favorites is to throw some clay on the pottery wheel. In order for the clay to be centered, the potter must be centered, calm, and then take in a deep breath. And as you let it out, push into the clay and feel that connection. Only when the potter is centered can the clay also become centered. Centering and throwing clay is a reminder that in order to find and create peace in my life, I must first start at a peaceful place. It is a reminder to look at the problem, take a deep breath, and get centered.
As I become centered and at peace, I can become the eye in the middle of the storm. The problem can be seen more clearly. I am no longer of the chaos, but in it, surrounded by it maybe, but not of it. And taking this breath and this wider view, the problem becomes manageable, the stress becomes less, and you can create beautiful things. When we are stressed, though, sometimes we can't. We move too fast, we move too quickly, we're not able to see all of the things that we need to see. But when we take that deep, calming, cleansing breath, we can become centered and we can begin to create beautiful things in our lives. Another strategy that I use to keep myself centered and calm is to create a mental space between my internal self and the outside world. Imagining that I am watching the stressful events or watching the news or someone else who's in pain as if those events are in a movie or a TV show or in a book can help me remember or realize that as stressful as it can be when others are deep in their own panic, worry, or frustration or anger, I can choose to be compassionately present for their pain without being pulled into their pain. I can bear witness without bringing my own pain into the situation. So I encourage you, as you face stressors, to remember to just take a breath.
I'm Bill Benshoff. My pronouns are he, him, and his, and I'm a Pastoral Care Associate. I don't have a roadmap through this emotional wasteland that antagonizes, terrorizes, frustrates, isolates, incapacitates, and imprisons me. So I have to start with what I know, focusing on my breathing, on my heartbeat, and sensing all of my connections. To plant myself solidly and sense Mother Earth and ground, water, plants, and trees. To sense sky and breeze, rain, darkness, thunder, and lightning. To feel the stardust connecting me to the universe. To hold tight to my gratitude for the unique beauty of earth, sky, universe, and each soul I encounter. Only then can I reach out from the center of my being to pick up one thread at a time from the heaving mass of flotsam this new reality leaves me with and begin weaving it back together.
Good morning. My name is Carol Richardson. I first ventured into UUCG in the fall of 2012 after moving from upstate New York in the spring. I needed a connection in my life. They really helped me. Any connection really helps me survive, helps with stress, with loneliness, with boredom. So I became a member of the Pastoral Care team. I've been a member since its inception in 2016. And I've also been a member of the covenant groups as long as they've been going, which I think we're maybe coming into our 5th year. And by the way, there's the enrollment is open now for groups that will start within a couple of weeks. I will end with something that really is helpful. It's a haiku, which is a type of a poem, things that really help me on a day-by-day basis. Cat, dog, parrot, porch, trees. Just being with all comforts me, reflecting in the silence.
Hi, I'm Rob Cole, member of the Pastoral Care team. I have been with UUCG for over 30 years, and my wife and I raised our daughters there. At church, I've done everything but sing in the choir for good reason. We know things are tough all over. I want you to know that we on the team are here to listen. For myself, I am retired, and my wife and I are of a certain age that we're kind of on the sidelines to all of this. And my personal coping mechanism is to try and express my gratitude every day. I downloaded an app for my phone that reminds me twice a day at 8 in the morning and at 10 at night to write down something I am grateful for. And I think it makes a difference.
This proud land we grew up strong. We were wanted all along. I was taught to fight, taught to win. I never thought I could fail. No fight left, no so it seems. I am a man whose dreams have all deserved it. I changed my face, I changed my name, and no one wants you when you do. Whoa, 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 don't give up. Don't give up. Don't give up. I know you can make it good. Though I saw it all along, never thought that I could be affected. Thought that we'd be last to go. It is so strange the way things turn. Drove tonight towards my home, the place that I was born on the lakeside. As daylight broke, I saw the earth, the trees had burned down to the ground. Whoa, 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 don't give up. Don't give up. Don't give up. Somewhere there's a place where we belong. Rest your head. Rest your head. You worry too much. Things gonna be alright. Alright. When times get rough, you can fall back on us. Don't give up. I won't give up. Don't give up. Don't give up. Don't give up. 'cause I can't take anymore. Gonna stay on that way. Always tell me, love, whatever may come, and whatever may go, just go away. Let just flow away. Don't give up, 'cause you have a friend. Don't give up, you're not the only way. Don't give up, don't please don't be ashamed. Don't give up, you know it's never been easy. Don't give up, 'cause I know we can make it. Don't give up. Don't you give up now, don't you give it up. Don't you give up. Don't give up. Don't you give up now, don't you give it up. Don't you give up. Don't give up. Don't you give up now, don't you give it up. Don't you give up. Don't you give up now, don't you give it up. Don't you give up. Don't you give up now, don't you give it up. Don't you give up. Don't you give up now, don't you give it up. Don't you give up. Don't you.
Don't give up. Don't give up. This is an act of faith, to be alive in this time and not give up. To know that we will persevere, to have confidence we will persevere, we will prevail. And there will be a time when this is in the past. And we don't know what that time will look like in the present. But we'll figure it out together. I was on a call yesterday with our lay ministers, and one of them used the term low-grade depression as part of the check-in, and kind of a twist on low-grade fever. And I thought that was a great expression, because I certainly have experienced that off and on in these last few months, the low-grade depression of this time. And I've been thinking a lot about the people who struggle with depression even in the best of times, and how that low-grade depression can get very deep during this time. And those people are on my heart and in my prayers every day. This service is about the spiritual assets that sustain us and help us to move through difficult and challenging times. And in many ways, this is unlike any other challenging time we've had, and in other ways, it's not too different. We have had to develop practices throughout our lives to be able to move forward, to persevere. And so I know that when I'm frightened, I know there is community out there for me, and there are individuals who I can call on who will affirm and accept and be compassionate and will listen. I know that there are communities like this for all of us, and this community for all of us, people who care for their souls, who care for others, who know the value of a caring community. And these communities will help people in this country persevere and help us persevere. So I'm going to touch on two resources that I turn to. One is a religious education program for adults that was created by Eric Walker Wickstrom. It's in our, it's online. It's in the UUA Tapestry of Faith curriculum. It's called Spirit in Practice. And we taught this here a few years ago, probably 7 or 8 years ago, and it's probably time to offer it again. So we'll look at that possibility. Eric Walker Wickstrom creates a wheel, and in the center of the wheel is spiritual growth, something that we foster here in our congregation. And he offers 8 spokes with little wheels on the ends of different ways that we can grow spiritually, that we should be paying attention to how we do all of these things. And I am not going to go through all 8. That would take a long time, and that would be the course. So we'll do the course sometime. I'm going to touch on 4. The first is personal spiritual practices. And our Pastoral Care Associates shared some of what they turn to: creativity, breathing, gratitude, poetry, thinking about those things that you're connected with, and those people you're connected with, and those creatures you're connected with that help us to know that we're not alone. Personally, my practices are meditation, although I've been warned by my meditation teacher not to let that become an obsession or an addiction, but to turn to meditation as a place for centering and connecting mind and body. I do Qigong. I do prayer, and one of the prayers I do most often is with my UU prayer bracelet. I wish I could just send each of you a kit to make your own prayer bracelet. It's fabulous. And another practice that would be formally called Lectio Divina is to look at words and contemplate them. Now, often it's done with passages in the Bible or other ways. Carol and her haiku might be a form of Lectio Divina, to sit with a haiku or a poem or a phrase in a book that you're reading and just sit with it. Read it out loud, read it silently, read it aloud again, see what resonates, what calls to you, what feeds you, what ideas come to you. Another important practice are body practices, to move our body, to connect our mind and body. So that is where Qigong and Tai Chi and yoga come into mind, but also just simple things like taking a walk. And if you can't get outside easily, walk through your home. Do it mindfully. Mindful walking, not exercise walk, but mindful walk. To notice how your foot falls on the earth or on the floor. To notice what's around you as you walk. To be mindful of where you are and what's around you. A third practice would be spiritual partnerships. And I'm so grateful that Carol mentioned the covenant groups, because that is one way that we nurture spiritual partnerships in our congregation. Small groups of 8 to 10 people who gather twice a month to look deeply into the monthly themes that we have, and to look at the stories in their lives and to find meaning and maybe new meaning in those stories. We also have our new care circles, and most of you should have received information about those care circles. Some of you are working on getting a Zoom gathering together with your care circle, just so you can meet one another and know who lives within a very close proximity to you, within 5 to 8 miles of you. And then our pastoral care team. They are also your spiritual partners on this journey. So turn to them and call them when you are in need of some other person outside of your immediate group to talk with, to hash things out with, to find your inner wisdom. The last one is communal worship practices that I want to lift up. And you're here. Great. You're already working on your spiritual assets. I went to WebMD after looking at a lot of other sites to look at what they had to say about the importance of gathering in religious community regularly, weekly even. And there are some studies that indicate people live about 4 years longer if they are regular attendees to some kind of religious service and religious community. So good for you being here. It's also a place where we build spiritual assets in practice. So now I turn to a resource from the University of Kansas. They have a thing called Community Toolbox, which we will put these up in our resources page later. But there are 5 things that they hold up as really important for spiritual community assets. One is hospitality. And that's not just the internal, like being welcoming to those coming in and being inviting and making sure that people feel that they belong here with their whole selves, all of who they are, that they don't have to leave a part outside. Bring who you are here and we will love you and care with you. And also external practices of hospitality. We have new townhouses and single-family homes going up pretty quickly across the street from our congregation. How might we reach out with hospitality to them in a time of pandemic? What could we gift to them that would help them to feel welcome and to know that we're here? The second one is gratitude. And that, in addition to being grateful for what you have or what you experience and the people in your lives, as Rob talked about, you can also offer gratitude by affirming people, acknowledging people, letting people know they matter, that they make a difference in your life. I wish I had with me, they're all sitting in my office at the church, but we've been getting amazing cards and little notes and papers and letters from people when they send in their contributions to the church. And I've been saving them because they give me heart. People are so grateful that we are here, that we continue to meet on Sundays, that we have all these other offerings we're creating so that we can connect. And it boosts me every time. And I wish I'll bring them next week so you can see the stack. It's wonderful. So we have hospitality, gratitude, and then generosity. And generosity can take many forms. It can be the contributions of time, talent, and treasure that make our community work, make it possible. And then I think about the generosity of spirit that takes the form of forgiveness, which is hard for some people. They think that that is excusing some behavior that was harmful. But it really isn't excusing the behavior. It's understanding that when we hold on to the hurt, we perpetuate the injustice, and we get burdened and weighed down by that harm. And if we can get to a place of generosity of spirit to let it go, just say, I am not going to carry this anymore. I've had enough, and let it go. It takes time. It's a process, but it is a strong way to create community when we can let go of the hurts and recommit ourselves to doing better. And that leads me to the fourth one, which is justice, and creating a more equitable world so that all feel a part and all have opportunities to thrive in our culture, and to engage in practices that move us towards restorative justice and reconciliation and even renewal, which is our theme next month. Leads us to compassion, engaging with the suffering of others, knowing that suffering is part of the human experience, practicing loving kindness, remembering that we are all too human. We are all too human. We all fail. We all must be forgiven. We all must rise again. We all must not give up. Religious community reminds us we are not alone. We are in this together. We will do everything we can to help. And on that note, I offer a responsive reading. And Bill Benshoff is going to do the responsive part of this, and I'll invite you to join him in that, because saying it out loud, even though you're home alone and we can't hear you, saying it out loud will help it be in your body and in your heart. A colleague of mine shared this responsive reading written by Christopher Hertz, and I've made some small updates to make it more current. It was written in April, and a lot of things have happened since April. My colleagues shared it because it makes them feel connected to this web of all existence, and I agree. It's not all inclusive, though it includes a lot. It's not perfect, but perfection is one of the things we need to give up now. We need to focus on connection, not perfection. I invite you to breathe into this liturgy just as it is. May we hear our own stories in it and those of our loved ones. May we use this litany to set our intentions about how we will offer hope that sets us free. We are not alone. We're in this together. We will do everything we can to help. And that's your part in this responsive reading. You are not alone. We're in this together. We'll do everything we can to help. And let us begin. With this litany, we set our intention to offer hope, help, and resilience for all of us aching with the uncertainty of our shared vulnerability, and especially for some of the most susceptible among us.
You are not alone. We're in this together. We'll do everything we can to help.
For the parents of newborns who feel the sadness of not being able to introduce their babies to friends and family because of physical distancing.
You are not alone. We're in this together. We'll do everything we can to help.
For retired folks who are already struggling to get by but are now watching their shaky financial futures vaporize with every hit the stock market takes.
You are not alone. We're in this together. We'll do everything we can to help.
For everyone getting married over the next few months, try to remember you're not celebrating alone, even if your community cannot be there for the ceremony.
You are not alone. We're in this together. We'll do everything we can to help.
For the refugees trying to make sense of all this chaos in a foreign country in a language that's often difficult to comprehend.
You are not alone. We're in this together. We'll do everything we can to help.
For the small business owners who are forced to close shop out of service to our collective health, but who will struggle to stay in business once this is all past.
You are not alone. We're in this together. We'll do everything we can to help.
For single parents who are already undersupported and overworked.
You are not alone. We're in this together. We'll do everything we can to help.
For the 20+ million children in the United States who need public school meal assistance just to get 1 or 2 hot meals a day, and for their parents suffering the pain of seeing their kids go hungry.
You are not alone. We're in this together. We'll do everything we can to help.
For the activists, charities, and nonprofit organizations fighting to build a better world, one donation at a time, while watching their funding thin out.
You are not alone. We're in this together. We'll do everything we can to help.
For the elderly in assisted living communities who fear they may never see their family again.
You are not alone. We're in this together. We'll do everything we can to help.
For the authors, artists, musicians, speakers, and everyone else in the gig industry whose livelihood is dependent on events that have been canceled.
You are not alone. We're in this together. We'll do everything we can to help.
For the immunosuppressed and immunocompromised who fear running down to the market to buy the basics so they can get by for just one more day.
You are not alone. We're in this together. We'll do everything we can to help.
For the undocumented who have been illegalized by an unjust and unwelcoming system and who fear applying for assistance at the risk of deportation, and for the communities of color and impoverished communities who experience the effects of the virus most severely.
You are not alone. We're in this together. We'll do everything we can to help.
For those who are incarcerated and concerned for their own health in their isolated communities, or worried they may lose loved ones they'll never see again.
You are not alone. We're in this together. We'll do everything we can to help.
For the teachers, librarians, cafeteria staff, administrators, and all who serve to educate our children, now living in uncertain times and facing great risks and difficult choices to do what they love.
You are not alone. We're in this together. We'll do everything we can to help.
For the hospice workers who wrestle with the risks of showing up or not showing up to care for their patients and the difficult consequences of either choice.
You are not alone. We're in this together. We'll do everything we can to help.
For the chefs, bartenders, delivery folks, dishwashers, hosts and hostesses, line cooks, servers, and all the hospitality industry who have prepared and provided meals for us, who may lose their jobs or already have.
You are not alone. We're in this together. We'll do everything we can to help.
For the parents whose employers won't make concessions as you stay home with your children who aren't able to attend their own schools, and for those whose children may be required to return to school at great risk.
You are not alone. We're in this together. We'll do everything we can to help.
For the healthcare professionals who put themselves at risk to care for the suffering bodies of our collective community.
You are not alone. We're in this together. We'll do everything we can to help.
For every single one of us who will lose a loved one, a friend, a family member, or a partner to this virus, and will be forced to grieve alone.
You are not alone. We're in this together. We'll do everything we can to help.
Amen. Let us respond, singing together, Comfort Me, by Mimi Bornstein-Doebling. Our congregation is committed to creating a more compassionate world. To this end, each quarter we split our plate collection with an organization selected by our Give Away the Plate committee. Our third quarter plate recipient is El Refugio, located in Lumpkin, Georgia. El Refugio provides the Ministry of Hospitality and Visitation, serving immigrants at Stewart Detention Center and their loved ones. Many in our congregation have taken part in this important ministry by visiting prisoners at Stewart Detention Center, assisting at the hospitality house, and donating much-needed supplies for the house and the immigrants who are deported or released. Our plate contributions also support the shared ministry of this congregation. So I ask that you please give generously to support the work of this important ministry in our wider community, as well as the vision and mission of our congregation. As we listen to a recording of our pianist Brian Bishop playing Lamb, Gamboling Movements by William Grant Steele, you will see on the screen ways to contribute to our offering via PayPal, Venmo, or by mailing a check payable to UUCG on the address shown. We've had inquiries about getting Zelle as an option, and we're looking into that. If you are worshiping with us for the first time, your presence here today is a generous gift to this community. You may choose to let the plate pass. The offering will now be most gratefully received. May the generous gifts received today move us towards realizing our vision of a more compassionate and connected world. I am grateful for Bill, Mandy, Carol, and Rob for their contributions to this service, and I am grateful for Michael Parker, our choir director, for finding virtual choir music for our services, and to Brian Bishop for recording music for our services, and to Christiana McQuain for managing our Zoom room, and Russ Taddeo for running video and sound. Now is the time for our call to connection. Please seek ways to connect between Sundays. It's so important. If you are new to our congregation, please text welcoming to 678-931-8228, and you'll receive a few texts and emails for a few weeks to guide you in connecting. You can also request to be on our weekly email newsletter that comes out every Friday by emailing info@uucg.org and asking to be put on that list. Visit our website and use the Register for Events button at the bottom of the homepage to get connected. Join some of our activities and get connected. And also check us out on Facebook if you haven't already. Also, for those who are new to Unitarian Universalism or new to our congregation, we invite you to come to our 101 Visitor Orientation program next Sunday at 12:30. This is where you can learn more about our congregation, our specific congregation, and about Unitarian Universalism, and meet other people who are new to the congregation as well. Also next Sunday we'll offer our 102 Path to Membership for those who've been to 101 and would like to know more about becoming a member of the congregation. Please register for these events. It really helps us to know that you're coming, though we will have the room open and you can just drop in. Our next Sunday, if you're looking for ways to be of service, we're having another collection for the Lawrenceville Cooperative Ministry. We will have someone there from 2 o'clock to 4 o'clock on Sunday to receive donations. We've already collected over 700 pounds of food in June and July, and now we're aiming to top 1,000 and even go higher if we can. We need not only some food products, but also toilet paper, deodorant, shampoo, and you can see the list there. You can also help out by delivering backpacks, new or very gently used with no names. You can drop them off at the church. There's a bin there. They should have just 2 straps, or they shouldn't be just 1 strap, like some of those messenger bags have just 1 strap. So they should have 2 straps. And you can put them in the bin in the front of the building, and we are picking these things up regularly. And eventually, they will need those backpacks. So please continue to bring them. We have received many, and thank you. Many ways to connect this week. On Wednesday, I offer a drop-in chat with me and anyone else who shows up at 2 o'clock for an hour. And this Wednesday will be the last of those until I return from vacation and study leave in September, and I'll be there on September 9th for the chat again, and look forward to reconnecting with you all. And then also on Wednesdays, we have our Family Faith Development for families with elementary age children from 4 to 5. Please come and be a part of that, connect with other families in the congregation and see what's up. And we'll be offering a program for preschool age children starting in September, so you'll look for information about that. Also, we have virtual happy hour on Thursday from 6 to 8, hosted by Bill Benshoff and Mary Jane Stout. Please drop in, bring your favorite beverage, snacks, whatever you like. It's just casual, time to check in, connect with people. It's good. And again, the covenant groups, I just can't promote these enough. They have been really, really important to people. You can look in our Facebook group and see some of the testimonials that people have shared, especially for our virtual services, that virtual covenant groups we offered over the summer. It has been so valuable to have these deep conversations with a few people that are focused and structured, and it's lovely. So we really hope more people will sign up for that Monday evening group. And all of them need a few more people, but I think we're on our way to having this figured out, that we'll be able to do all 4 if we get some more registrations this week. So please sign up and bring a friend. And then also just remind you to check our e-news and our website. And on the front of the website, there's a link to the calendar, and there's also upcoming events. And just look what's coming up and plan to come and do some things with other people and connect. And today after the service, we have Belief Exploration, which is a wonderful program, and we have Spiral Scouts, which you'll need an invitation for, but look for it next. Get connected with that if you're a family looking for Earth-based Scout program. Let us rise in spirit as we say together the words we say as we extinguish our chalice, followed by our closing song by Bill Withers, Lean on Me. We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again.
Sometimes in our lives we all have pain.
Beloveds, our service has ended, and now our service to one another and the world begins. Please take very good care this week and every week. Wear your masks, keep your distance, wash your hands,